what are your favorite movies? I'm so interested now that you're studying cinematography.
I have a lot, so it's hard to always pick a top three. That's the hardest question to ask anyone like who loves film.
Sure.
Um, right now, I always ask whenever someone asks me that question. It's like right now, my top three favorite movies are probably Knives Out, Heather's, what's the third one? And probably Lady Bird.
Nice. What's I've heard two of those three. What's Heather's about?
It's like an 80s movie with Winona Ryder. Um, it's just like how it's a commentary on, it's the original like Mean Girls type movie. It's a coming of age movie about how she meets this guy Jason Dean who just moved here, who's like really just crazy and just thinks high school is just a load of bullshit and everyone's just bullshit, and like they go on this rampage of like murdering people, but they cover it up as if it's like their suicides because Veronica, who's like the main character, is really good at forging signatures, so she can forge anyone's handwriting and make it seem like they wrote this suicide note. But it's just this commentary of like popularity and like cool people and just like high school in general. So that's a really cool one.
Nice. Eric, if you can hear us, what's your favorite movie?
Oh, that's a really hard question. I've suddenly forgotten every movie I've ever seen.
That happens.
I really liked The Lighthouse, which came out last year. I watched that a few times, like in like one weekend. What else? I've also loved Jurassic Park since I was a child. What about you, Russ?
I think my favorite.
Did I freeze?
What?
Okay, cool. Did I freeze?
My favorite movie of all time, Avery, you gotta tell me if you've seen this or not, is the 2003 summer blockbuster hit Big Fat Liar, starring Frankie Muniz, Paul Giamatti, and Amanda Bynes. I love that movie to death.
I watched it in quarantine recently.
Good for you. Did you like it?
Yeah, I've watched it a bunch of times, but I like the movie.
So I studied television production in school, and I like making short films and stuff on the side. And after I rewatched that a couple times, that movie, I realized, as silly as it is, that was the movie that inspired me to get into video production, which is crazy. Do you have a movie or video that did that for you, or was it an instance, or were you just always a fan of that kind of stuff?
I think it was actually through YouTube. I watched Casey Neistat a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Like way before he did like the vlogs and like people really started to know. It was like he probably had 400,000 subscribers at the time. And he just did these little like movies with his son going to like Germany, or like his promos for Nike. And those were like really interesting, like fast paced, like cuts and things. And so that was when I like discovered like I like how this looks like visually. How do like what is the word for this? Like how do I operate a camera? Like how do I put that? And the word was cinematography. And so that's kind of how I learned about cinematography. But a movie, I don't think I've had like a movie that's been like yes. But if I had to think of one, it would probably Gone Girl. Because like for me, I don't think of movies as like writing or acting and how it's done. It's really a visual experience for me, like, and how it's colored, how it's edited, and how they shot it, what camera they used. Like that's my big focus when I'm watching a movie.
That's awesome. I'm sorry, I'm geeking out right now. Do you have any favorite cinematographers or movies that did make you feel that way?
I have a lot. Dear White People, because of the way in which their cinematographer did was that she shot in rule of thirds. Yeah. And she like would shoot, like she just used these crazy angles in these ways that no one really does it.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really interesting. Another one was The Favorite. That one is like, that's up there for me just because of their use of the fisheye lenses and the way they kind of just, the fisheye lenses, what they did was that they had it, like you were really in the room, like you were fly on the wall within the movie. And that was really interesting because it's supposed to be like this secret, like Queen Anne like is this like closet lesbian that no one knows, and like for them to use these like lenses and like the way in which they position is just like you're in on this like little secret that they have. So that was really interesting, and also their use of only natural lighting like within the whole movie, and it was just like that's such a difficult feat for anyone. No one really likes doing it that way, and it was just like they do it so beautifully, and it's just such an amazing movie.